Back, we continue right here with the Nightly Sports Call presented to you by Ireland Contracting on the Bordas and Bordas Hotline. Taking your calls at 412-575-2600. You can also tweet me tonight at KDPomp. I want to let you know from Steeler training camp today, B.J. Finney was back at practice. A couple of days after that injury Thursday night, it was a quad contusion, and it looked not too good when he was hobbling off the field, but he was back out there, and they need depth on that offensive line, no doubt. We also saw a lot of I think a kid who is going to be relied upon a lot, even though he's very inexperienced, in Okorafor, Chooks, as we like to call him, but it's Chukwuma Okorafor. He played both tackle positions. Get your take on that, the running game. Look ahead for me. Le'Veon Bell won't be here next year. Does James Conner have what it takes to be the every down feature back during a 16-game season? And your overall thoughts of that running game. And we'll also talk about the quarterbacks if you so choose as well at 412-575-2600. Right now, let's begin with Nico in Westview. Hey, Nico, how are you?
Good, very good, Bob. Thank you very much. Hey, I don't know. This is like wild world of sportish watching Tiger Woods play, and I mean, it's just amazing to me to do what he did. I just wonder if you could ever remember another athlete that overcame an injury like him. Number one, and number two, do you think he is the most influential athlete in the world beyond Muhammad Ali?
I would think that LeBron James is up there, with what he does and all the good things he's been doing in the community. Thanks, Nico, for the call. But yeah, Tiger Woods globally is still one of those guys who people go out no matter where you are. You could be in Dubai, you can be in China, you can be anywhere in the world. People love to play golf, and they know who he is, and they are aware of what he's done. Just consider this. You talk about a comebacks. Number one, 4 surgeries on your back does not necessarily mean that you play golf again, because the torque involved in a swing is so intense, but yet that last surgery must have done it. It was a fusion surgery, and with him, he's had no pain pretty much all season long. Number two, he started when he came back last year at the Heroes Championship, which is his own event. He was ranked 1,176th in the world. Now remember, this is a guy who used to have number one every single week for multiple weeks, multiple years. 1,176. He has now moved himself up to 26th in the world, and he is knocking on the door. The question is, can he answer given the competition? This competition is deeper and more talented than when he was dominating in his day. I don't think there's any question about that. And he's also a victim of his own success, because Tiger, who put physical conditioning at the top of the list in his preparation, that has now meant that everyone involved in golf is a better athlete. Look at Dustin Johnson. Look at Brooks Koepka. Koepka looks like a linebacker playing golf. All these guys make nutrition and make physical superiority in terms of their physique number one goal. That wasn't the case necessarily before Tiger Woods came along. So he's had an amazing impact, yes. Nick in Belle Vernon. What's up, Nick? How are you?
Okay, Bob. Thanks for taking my call. Just want to mention that Tiger shot a 64, and he would have shot a 62, but for 2 holes where about an eighth of an inch was the difference between it going in and not. The one where the ball was on the edge of the cup, and the other where it lipped out. Front nine, he was terrible, off the drive. Awesome performance. I mean, incredible.
Yeah, well, you're right. Those two, one revolution turn, you might remember 2005 at Augusta 16 when that chip shot eventually did drop. Well, today it wasn't going to drop. It just stood there, and that makes a big difference, certainly. But you're right. He missed just about every fairway, which is hard to believe. And yet, he led the field in fewest putts, only 23 for 18 holes. And that's why he was able to compete. Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate that. I'll say this about Brooks Koepka. He shot 66. He was not daunted at all by what was going on out there. And if not for 2 bogeys based on bad putting, he would have shot 64. So this is a guy who's capable of coming out. Now, he's won 2 majors this year. That's 3 in a year and a half. Brooks Koepka is the real deal. All right, let's go out to Jim in Butler. Hey, Jim, you're next. What's up?
Hey, Bob, 2 comments, baseball and the Steelers. Okay. First, this drives me crazy with adjusting these batter gloves. Dickerson's the biggest offender. He even adjusts the gloves when he doesn't swing at the ball. Can't we put snaps on these batting gloves? And my Steeler comment is, boy, does this team need a punter. This guy gets off no booming punts. He does not change field position. 40, 42 yards is not going to cut it.
Yeah, and he had one. All right, he had one of only 24 yards the other day that hit and bounced backwards. He needs to be better, but I think he will be better. I think Jordan Berry has shown over the years that he can handle this situation. In that game, it wasn't all that good, but special teams is a big part of what goes on here. And the most pressing thing for the Steelers now moving forward is Chris Boswell. They'd love to get him signed, and they have until the end of this training camp, so their Steelers are ongoing. All right, let's go out to Mark in Clearfield. Mark, you're on the sports call. How are you?
Good evening, Bob. Thanks for taking my phone call, and I love the show.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you calling.
I read a great article today in the Post-Gazette. I hope you caught it, by Gene Collier about the Pitt Athletic Department and everything. I thought he was spot on with his evaluation that if most to all Division I colleges and universities rely on their football program to bring in the most revenue within the colleges and universities.
Right.
As Pitt gets ready for the upcoming football season in 3 weeks, give me your predictions of their wins and losses. And if, let's say Pitt ends up going 5-7 or 6-6, do you think that Pat Narduzzi his job is going to be in jeopardy? I'll hang up and listen to your response.
First of all, you're right. Gene Collier is a masterful columnist. There's no doubt. He is a wordsmith, and I've always appreciated his columns. You're asking me about Pitt. I haven't seen too much of them. I know about Kenny Pickett. I know about what they have and what they don't have. You have to see it in play, but I would think Pickett's confident that it's not going to be 5-7. He guaranteed that in his first media availability so far this year in the preseason. So I would think 7-5 is the base that they got to go. I don't think Pat Narduzzi is in any trouble whatsoever. I think he has a full confidence and should. This takes time. This is not a quick rebuild. People want to see immediate results. Although I was disappointed to see that they were 5th overall in the Coastal based on preseason rankings. I think they're better than that, and I think they could be a surprise. They got some early tests. They're going to be tough to get through. I like Penn State's football team. I like West Virginia's football team. I think Pitt, if I'm going to go out and make a prediction right now, 7-5 or 8-4. Again, it's too early to say because I haven't seen a whole bunch of them. Line 4 we go. It's Jeff in Portage. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Good, Bob. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks. What's up?
Just a couple quick things. The Le'Veon Bell thing, I don't think the New England Patriots ever paid any of their running backs over $14 million. So I don't know if, he's worth that much. And as far as the Pirates, they have no urgency. I don't see them making any kind of playoff run.
Well, they put 11 in a row together, and that got everybody pumped up. Then they made trades at the deadline, which that 11-game win streak certainly was a part of it. But I just think they're too deep down. When you're down this far and have to overcome a lot of teams, it's difficult to do. You can't rely on one team going bad. You have to hope 3 or 4 of them do. And that's unrealistic given the fact that you have many of these same teams head-to-head unless you run the table with them. You're going to have to – the Cubs come in here. Here's the next homestand, by the way, and thanks for the call. You got the Cubs coming in for 4. You have the Atlanta Braves coming in for 3. Wild card team right now. So that's 7 games. Last homestand didn't go so well. 4 and 5 ain't going to get it done. They need to go 6-1. And I don't think I'm overselling it. They need to go 6-1 in those 7 games to be where they need to be. If you go 4 and 3, you're, again, just treading water. And you can't do that when you're 4th place in your division. All right, we're going to take a break. We have Derek, Pete, Raymond, and Chris all coming up next right here live on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.